Hello everyone, and thank you for watching all these. I'm really happy that you're enjoying my stories. I thought I'd give some stuff a break, because eventually our family does move from the old home into a new home. And there were new adventures, so we're going to skip ahead in time. And the next bunch of stories we're going to call the Firebug years. And there's going to be multiple titles. This is the first. Stay tuned.
So you were always good with your inventions. What are some of the inventions that you did?
Oh, I made all kinds of stuff. Like a hot dog cooker, which Dad took away. I put 2 nails into a board and cut one of his cords and tied it to each nail and put a hot dog in it and plugged it in. Made pretty good hot dogs. He was impressed, but he said it was too dangerous. Let's talk about the football. Well, we'd moved a long time before that from the old house. The old house was now the printing shop. My old room was now the dark room. They did all kinds of cool stuff there. But that's not really what this is about. We're going to talk about the football. Well, I was hanging around down at the old school. Went down there every once in a while. And down by the old the tennis court, somebody had left a football. Now I looked around. Nobody within sight. So I grabbed said football and took it home. My friends and I at the time, we were kind of doing a little Nerf football, and thought it'd be kind of fun to play with the real football for a bit. You know, Nerf's fun, but the real's going to be funner. It's going to hurt more. Well, one day I was sitting by myself. My dad had gone to work, my mom was gone, I was alone. And I just had this vision. Boom. Hit me and said, what if you were to cut the end of that football off? You know, the tip of the football. Cut the tip off. And again, what if you were to take that there football and put a little gasoline in it? And what if you lit that on fire? Do you think it would explode? Well, I'm always inquisitive. I'm going to find out. Well, let's find out, Mr. Wizard. So I took the football. I went into my dad's shop, because he had a shop on the side in the new house. The new house had a garage, which the old house didn't. Well, I cut the tip of that off with his saw, without his knowing about it. And I filled that thing up, about half full, with gasoline. Because we're going to make one big boom boom. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Well, my parents had this series of ditches they put in for irrigation. So I thought it fitting to put the football down in there so when it exploded, the shrapnel wouldn't kill me. Or destroy the house or the neighbors. Because this is probably going to take out half a block. But it's going to be cool. And I invented it. So I put the football down and I wedged it in so that it wouldn't tip over. Now the problem was to light the tip and get away to a sufficient area that I wouldn't be destroyed with the football. All I could do was really kind of like keep myself low to the ground like that and take a Bic lighter, which I had stolen from someone. I don't know who I'd got it from, but I'd stolen it. And I lit it and held back. Nothing. No explosion. I looked over and the football is now a candle. Little flame going up like that. No explosion. But a little flame going just like the torches you see in the movies. You know, the horror movies where they have the little thing and they light it. So I invented a torch. Congratulations, I made a torch. I was disappointed, and I reached down, grabbed said football, and I squeezed it, and it went pushed in and pushed the gas out. It went that high. That was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Let go. It was gone. Oh, I made a flamethrower. Now, when you invent something cool, it's always a good idea to have bragging rights with the people around. So I called two of my better friends. And I'm not going to use their real names. As you may have guessed by now, I don't use anyone's real names because they're going to sue me because of things I did. They don't want to be a part of it. We'll call it Friend 1 and Friend 2. From the Cat in the Hat, you know, like Thing 1, Thing 2. These are good guys. I don't want to feel bad about it, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. Unless you give me a letter that's certified that says I can use your name in further videos, I'd be glad to, because a couple of you are implicated in many of these stories in the future. I digress. Anyway, I call him up. I says, you got to get up here and see what I've done. This is so cool. You're going to love it. I waited and waited and waited and waited. 10, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, they both showed up. What? I made a flamethrower. You made a flamethrower out of a DeLorean? No. Out of a football? DeLorean, you know, time machine. Okay, sorry I stole that. But I thought it'd be funny. No, yeah, I did. I made a flamethrower out of a football. Prove it. Watch. Stand back, Charlie. Lit it. Now the flame wasn't so good. It wasn't so grand. It was kind of like yip, yip, zipped out like a little fly into the wind. Friend number 1 says, yeah, it's cool. I'm going home. Hold on. It must be out of gas. Well, my dad kept the gas in the garage. Well, the garage door was closed, so we went around the back. There's a door in the front, and there was a door in the back. When you go into the garage, you got a cement stairway going up to the kitchen. You got a cement stairway going down into the basement, in the garage, said garage. There was the gas. Now, my brain works in unique ways. Einstein, he's a child compared to the way my brain worked. No, I computed in my mind and I thought, half a football? That was cool, but I only got 2 poof-poofs and it was done. No, I'm going to show them something that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. I filled it all the way to the top. This is going to be the biggest ball of flame mankind has seen since an eruption of 2022. Okay, not 2022, maybe 1912. Anyway, I digress again. So I got that football and I had that full. And I was really excited about it. I'm going to show them. Ball of fire. I lit it. And that fire danced in the dark. And we went, ooh, that's so cool. It danced like a stripper from hell. Awesome colors. The walls glowed. I says, now watch. Stand back. This isn't for the young. My friends stood back because they knew me, evidently. I squeezed out a mighty squeeze, and oh, it was glorious. Up high into the rafters was a ball of flame. It was gorgeous. As the light diminished, I realized that there was more light. Where was the light coming from? Well, if my hands weren't on fire, it would be dark. My hand's on fire. I dropped it immediately. I pushed the gas up around it, doused my hands. My hands were now on fire. So I'm acting like the funky chicken. I'm doing all kinds of weird stuff, trying to drop this fire off. Well, I had dropped the ball in the meantime. Well, the ball's down now on the ground, still on fire, and gas is spewing out across the floor. Friend number 1, friend number 2, also being very extremely excited about the concept of what I just invented, could see me trying to extinguish my poor self, ignoring the fire that was now spreading across my dad's garage. Freaking out, I got it out. Now I got a problem. I got flames this high. That's like a couple feet. Friend one runs outside, grabs a bucket, comes in, and says, "I'll put it out." Water. Well, the fire did go down a little bit, but now it's not just here, it's now all over. Friend number two says, "Oh my gosh." He grabs my mom's rug up across on the top by the door going into the kitchen, starts to put the fire out. Well, I kicked the football out of the way. When I kicked the football out of the way, we had now more gas going across, and the flames were everywhere, and Mom's carpet was now on fire. Friend one and friend two are freaking out, as am I. And at this point in time, I'm thinking of my options. Okay, I'm burning my parents' house down. What am I going to do? Foreign Legion. There you go. I'll join the Foreign Legion. They won't find me for 100 years. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I was going off into some tangent. It's going crazy. Well, the carpet's burnt. We've run it outside, throw it in the creek in the back. Fire's now out. Oh, but we still got a fire. We're trying to put it out. Stamping up. We got fire like this. Going up into the rafters. The rafters, it's dark in the room. Now there's all this smoke and everything and chaos and pandemonium. Then, friend one had an idea. Said carpet that was destroyed was now soaked in water. Smart man. Brought it in and it started to extinguish. Grab everything, take it to the ditch, and put it out. Pop, 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 pop. We're going crazy. Pop, 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 pop. Trying to put this fire out. It's out. Kind of. It's out. Again, I'm thinking of the Foreign Legion. It's looking better and better in my estimation. What do we do? Well, they don't care what they're going to do. They're going to go home, pretend they weren't there. It's up to me to buy it or to sell it. Well, first off, we're going to have to take the evidence. Now where we lived, where they built the house, there was a big hillside along the back. And it went back in the hollow, and there was a park in the back, and you're going to hear about the park. You're going to hear a bunch of that stuff in future stories because, well, when we moved from the old house to the new house, I swear, as the car pulled away, people were cheering. They were cheering, they were happy, and they celebrated. No idea why. We pulled into the new property and started to unload, and I heard doom, gloom, hell and despair upon us. The spawn of the devil has come. That's not really true. I just thought it'd be kind of funny. Anyway, so the hillside, we were throwing all the evidence up on the hillside. Got out of that one. Okay, lesson learned, football, full gas, squeezy, bad idea, no. Okay, on to funner things for the day. I had more plans for us. And I realized that the garage is so full of smoke, we better get rid of it. So we opened the garage door, smoke bellowed out. Like, it was so cool how it bellowed out. Sending a smoke signal to the whole world that something cool had happened here. Then I realized something really bad. I looked up. The rafters of Dad's brand new garage, 4 years now that it was brand new, were now blackened. Okay, that's going to be hard to explain. City cars driving by, they're looking, smoke piling out, and then my dad's van comes up the road. Oh dear heaven, he's seen the smoke. He pulled into the driveway. It was a long driveway, went way down there, down, so we were on a hill. I could see with my bad eyes that he was not smiling. He was not happy. Something was going to happen to me. My friends, of course, as we're out, they laughed. That's kind of a theme in my life, as you may recall from other stories. I get left holding the bag and everybody skips out. What you doing? Oh, nothing. Get in the van. I got in the van, and he worked the heck out of me all day long at the shop. Well, I'm not sure if he knew that for sure what I had done, but that was the beginning of my firebug years. I think we have time for one more firebug story. I think it'd be appropriate. Now, we had a friend, a younger friend, that lived just above me in the house. As I'd mentioned, our property went back along the hillside. It was a nice hollow. And you went over the fence, and you were in a park. Now, if anybody watching this is aware, my son has a channel, Mountain Valley Paranormal. Now, you know what park I'm talking about then, don't you? Because I was involved in some of it. Well, they'd just redone the pavilion in the park. It was L-shaped. One part was on the east side, one part went across the south side. Then they had a little big opening there, and there was a little fire pit inside. Well, a lot of the trees in that area were cottonwood. You know, cottonwood, they drop the cotton, and anyway, that's not here or there. But it also meant that there were a lot of bugs. In this case, they were box elder bugs. Well, I went up there with this friend. We had pilfered from someone else a bunch of firecrackers, and we were going to go up and blow up a bunch of stuff and just have a good time. We were letting off firecrackers and just having the grandest time. Oh, it was fun. Well, that gets boring after a while. You've blown up about everything you could blow up with a firecracker. What do you do now? Well, I tell you what, they just built this pavilion, and they had these sun shades going down the side. Well, they are made of canvas. What the city of Providence did, the city I lived in, Providence, didn't realize is that these were a magnet for box elder bugs, and there were 240 trillion of them on that thing right there. And I thought, you know what, let's burn them off. So we were sitting there with those lighters, big lighters, you know, burning them off, just having fun. They were screaming, ah, we're on fire, we're on fire. Burning them off, burning them off. Oh, this was great fun. Then we got bored. I turned to my friend and said, you know what, I'm kind of bored. Why don't we go home and get something to eat? Animal crackers. Maybe some ice cream. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Well, we done enough damage here. Turn around, we were walking down. We got a few feet, 10 feet, 20 feet away. And I had this odd feeling. You know that doom feeling you get when it's kind of an oh poop moment? We're walking and I'm thinking, I better turn around. I turned around. Oh my crap. The sunshade is now on fire and it's burning its way up. It's burning the canvas and it's this high up and it's burning up and it's spreading across. I'm going to burn down the brand new pavilion, which, by the way, my dad helped build. What do I do? What do I do? How do I stop it? We ran screaming, oh my goodness! How do I put it out? Well, what could you do? It's on fire already. So we grabbed that there canvas and we jerked it off the side, which come off really easy, really good, because they must have understood that somebody would set fire to it. So I pulled it off and we threw it into the ditch on the side. Saved. We saved the pavilion. We had saved the city. We'd saved the citizens of the city from seeing the destruction of their new pavilion. And then we heard the truck. Oh, the truck. One of the city workers was coming up. I recognized that truck. And we booked it. We booked it. I ran, my friend ran, and the fence line where my parents' property started and the city properties, were right there. Usually you'd have to step on the fence. It was wire loose. You'd step on it and just kind of clump over it. I leapt that in one leap. And I ran and I ran and I ran. I don't know what happened to my friend. But here's the thing about that friend of mine. That dude would squill on me. I knew it. I ran home, ran into the house, went up downstairs. Now we had the split level house. Went downstairs and there's a little opening and we called it the playroom. I opened the door, went in there and hid in there for 5 hours. Every time I heard a truck go by, I knew it was the cops. I knew they knew. And they knew I knew they knew. And I know that they were going to come and arrest me. Arson, level 12. Federal prison for life. Yeah, this stuff went through my mind. I imagine my friend was picked up before me and he was being tortured. And he said he did it. I knew it was going to happen. Well, eventually my parents came home. That was a long night. I was never caught, which gave me courage for more to come. If you like the fire years, stick around and see what else I did. Grandpa Dave here with a little wisdom. You know, my experience in life, I have found that if it's flammable, it'll burn. If it's not flammable, it'll burn if you add enough gas. Trust me. Talk to you later.